lasted, Dave, for nearly 2,000 years. Judaism was the only non-Christian religion in the West, and they had a bad time. Indian, Chinese societies were better in terms of religious freedom. West has been better since 20th century.
I think the point being made here is that the idea of not having religious freedom is Jewish. And that's true. I can't think of an example of religious freedom being suppressed by any other culture in history that other than a culture that is completely subsumed by a sect of Judaism. So Christianity is a sect of Judaism. Mormonism is a sect of Christianity. So Mormonism is just a sect of Judaism. Islam is just a sect of Judaism, possibly originating from the Torah observant Christian sects of the Syria of the time. So they all go back to the Old Testament and the Jewish concept of suppressing freedom of speech and religion. And that's fundamentally in the Bible. So you look at that 24 verses article I sent, it goes into this. So it gives concrete examples of the absolute violation and suppression of religious freedom is fundamental to their religion. And they're the only ones that did that. And then those religions became the imperialist religions that dominated the world. And you can actually explain that because without religious freedom, they were able to annihilate competitors. So obviously you combine those with industrial imperialist societies and they're going to dominate the earth, right? Because they're going to kill everybody else and suppress everything else. Now, this is an argument I've made with more sophisticated form than I just uttered it here in my book Sense and Goodness Without God, which is defense of metaphysical naturalism, which is my philosophy of life, the whole worldview, whole defense of an ethical humanist naturalist worldview. I have a section in there on this fact, the sort of mimetic virus form of religious suppression as a sort of vehicle for natural selection, which is not to praise it, it's actually to criticize it, of course.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot there to think about. But yeah, if you go into the more pagan societies, we'll call them that, anything other than the Abrahamic ones, it seemed they were much more welcoming of other deities, other ways, and things like that, it would seem. I'm sure there are
definitely
examples
more so. Yeah. Like you can find incidents of things like there was some suppression of atheism in pagan Greece, but that didn't last very long. And there's some, there's suppression of some, like certain religious practices are deemed evil or threatening might get suppressed, but you're not like the idea of like killing everybody who worships a different god than you, like that's bizarre. Like that's not a normal thing. That is extremely weird in the ethnographic record of human religions.